everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with me. It is day 196 on my journey back into keto. If you're new to my channel, check out my day 0 video where I talk about the reasons of why I created this video series. All right, let's roll the clip. That was the actions clip for week 28, specifically days 190 to 196, and it was, if you've been watching my series, you'll know that it is the final week of my diary weight loss journey. So is it the end of the weight loss? No. As I said before, I probably would end up going past 160, might go a little less, might go a little more, who knows, but I had to pick a number and stick with it. So 160 was that number. How much did I lose in week 28? I lost 1.3 pounds. That gives me a grand total weight loss in 28 weeks of 74 pounds. I am so tickled about that. That puts my current weight at 160.4. As I said, I didn't care if it was 160 and some change, 159, whatever, but I have reached my goal. So it's not the beginning, it's not the end, but it's the beginning, so this frees me up to do some other things, which we'll talk about in my final thoughts. All right, let me run through the rest of the numbers here. I actually didn't do any long fast, for this particular, last couple, 2 or 3 weeks of my journey. So these food numbers I'm giving you are for all 7 days. So my average fat grams for the week was 194 per day. My carbs were 22. You'll notice that's above the 20 that I used to target for the longest time, and that's because I'm trying to come out of weight loss mode and try to hit some level of, maintenance. And even taking it up to 22 didn't, keep me from losing. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, as I, start to balance the maintenance as well as throwing some exercise in and stuff at some point. All right, the protein, 96 grams on average for those 7 days. And, the overall macros for the 7 days was 79% fat, 4% carbs, and 17% protein. Those are really good keto macros, that I typically try to target the 75, 5, and 20. So all good. Let's talk about the blood work. For all 7 days, my average blood glucose was 82. Fantastic. My ketones were 1.2. Came down a little bit from the previous week. It was previously 1.5. My Dr. Boz ratio is 89, still good. It was previously 68, which was better. And then My GKI is 4.9 and previous was 3.8. So GKI is not something that's really important to me. I only put it in here because we had a discussion in one of my earlier videos about the difference between GKI and Dr. Pa's ratio. Dr. Pa's ratio is what I like to follow. And going forward after this journey, I will not be tracking or caring about the GKI. I will only be concerned with, glucose, ketones, Dr. Pa's ratio, and what it takes to stay in ketosis. Highlights for the week? Well, the main highlight is that I hit my goal. So that is fantastic. I put in the effort, 28 solid weeks. I got to exactly where I wanted to be. So again, not the end, just the beginning. And I will be able to start things like exercises, and things like that. I'm, pretty much going to be living the keto life. Some of the food that I ate for the week, remember this is the diary series, so the diary series has the details. I started out the week just kind of, eating rando stuff on the first day, like pepperoni, peanuts, pecans, those kinds of things. Thursday was much better. We made some keto pizza, where you have the almond flour crust with mozzarella cheese and, I'm actually getting hungry thinking about it. And then, just look at the clip. You actually just saw the clip. We had burgers and salad one day, Chipotle one day. That's typically good for every week or every other week. We had, I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, leftovers from the pizza day. So I ended up having pizza twice. I was trying to read my handwriting. That was kind of crazy. And then we had breakfast for dinner the following day with some miscellaneous stuff. And then we finished off my entire journey with some spiha. So if you eat any kind of Mediterranean, Lebanese, or, whatnot, basically it's just allspice and ground beef, with some pine nuts. And we also had some zucchini and squash along with that meal. So that was fantastic. So that is it for the actions clip for the week, folks. Let's go over my goals for week 28. As I said earlier, days 190 to 196. So looking at the spreadsheet here, as I always mention that, sleep has been one of those things that have been really improved drastically, has improved drastically since the beginning of my journey. So I'm still averaging, I would say 7.5 to 8 hours sleep a night on what I call good quality sleep. So I'm not getting up in the middle of the night to go pee. That was the old Chris. All right, so moving on. As I said, no long fasts. If you look across the spreadsheet, you'll see that, I pretty much did OMAD all the days except for one. And the reason is there was a day that I ended up breaking way early because something happened. I don't remember what it was specifically, but you just know when you know. In this case, on that particular day, which would have been, looks like a Saturday, I decided to, eat a little bit earlier. So my average still for the week was 22.1 hours of fasting per day. The style, my typical style for any of my journey has been try to eat as much clean, and as little as dirty as possible. But you know what? You're not going to be perfect, folks. So if you eat some pepperoni, if you eat something else that may not be clean, that's okay. Moving on to my carbs, my average carbs, as I mentioned, just like in the action clip review, was around 22. In this case, it's 22.3. Again, trying to figure out where I sit in that maintenance world. If my goal, it kind of took me outside what my goal would be, but I should have adjusted my goal to be, something different. But this is, I won't be doing like these kinds of sheets for, you folks going forward. It's going to be more of a different style and format, but I still will have whatever it takes to maintain ketosis, and live the keto life. All right, enough about that. My macros, as I mentioned earlier, the average was 79, 4, and 17. So if you look across there, you'll see I have some really high days of high fat, like 80% or more. So those are some pretty good advanced macros, which I really, really, really like. So, all right, moving on to learning. As you know, I do a lot of like watching YouTube videos, listen to Audible books. I've been listening to Dr. Barry's book again, Dr. Boz's book again. I've even been listening to some YouTube, video books and stuff, just kind of like what can I do better for you guys as an audience and so forth. All right, tracking on the spreadsheet. As you can see, I still track here. I track on the spreadsheet that, that I put out each week. And then I also track extensively in chronometer, because it's very important for me to know what I'm eating, what my intake is, and so forth. Also on the spreadsheet here, we have, some other things I track that are important to me, like meditation. So a couple times a day, I will stop. I will, just 5 minutes, just kind of relax, and I'll do that typically twice a day. I left on the spreadsheet since the very beginning of the journey, exercise, and I never did any exercise the entire journey. So probably should have took it off, but I just wanted to prove that all this weight loss, can be attributed to, what you eat and not necessarily what you do as far as exercise goes. So, but I am excited to start exercise. I gotta say that. So, all right, that's it for my goals. Let's get to my final thoughts. So my final thoughts for my very last week 28 is it's a sombering moment. It's an exciting moment. There's just so many emotions that I'm feeling right now, because I'm using this as an opportunity to, start recording different style videos, which you guys will see start to come out like within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. I mean, there's a couple styles of videos that you guys are going to be like, wow, Chris, what are you doing? And then there's the 2-minute rundown that I've kind of dangled the carrot on, where I'm just going to go to a very quick, concise, this is what I'm doing, living the keto life. This is what I had to do to maintain. This is what happens when I threw exercise in, but I just want to get not long videos like this, not long videos like the one over there. Sorry, I drifted off because I'm recording another video on this. So you'll get a sneak peek of that video, actually just a little bit here, because I'm doing the making of series. So that I wanted to have recorded because, this is the last time recording in this particular studio and area in the house. I'm in the basement, but I've actually carved out a nice new space, the kids' playroom and so forth. So I've dangled a bunch of carrots there. I just want to say, how excited I am. I want to also just take a minute, and just say that I'm going to have another video here that, that follows up right after this very, very shortly, that actually just gives you, the very concise before after photos. That's it for week 28, otherwise known as day 196, or days 190 through 196. Thanks for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe so you can keto with me. More importantly this time, so you can start to see those new videos and stuff and see where I go with the rest of my journey. Also, please take time to like and, wow, did I just say that twice? Please take time to leave some comments below. Just remember, nobody's perfect. Be a coach, not a critic. And take care, folks.